Hey everyone, Dana here. Oh, I'm so excited to be back in front of the camera. It's a rainy day out there and I feel like it's the right mood for me to talk about this. I don't know why, but I just feel like it is. Back in the day when MP3 players started to be a thing, and I noticed people sometimes walking around while listening to music on their MP3 players, my take on it was like, I don't know how people walk around and listen to music at the same time. I don't know how they do it. I think I would just start dancing everywhere I went. That was my take on it. And then I got an MP3 player and I started listening to music while walking around. Yes, I even managed to do it without doing the chicken dance as I went. And then at some point, podcasts became a thing. I'm not sure exactly what the first podcast was that I listened to. Could it be that it was when I was learning German? And maybe my first podcast was for learning German. I don't remember. But anyway, I started listening to podcasts also while walking around, also while doing other things, but also while walking around. And I still do listen to podcasts and music, but I've made a bit of an adjustment recently. Basically, the thing is, at some point I realized that listening to something while walking, going for a walk, went from a nice to have to a can't do without. So for example, if I found myself in a situation where I was going for a walk, but I had forgotten my headphones or my phone had died or whatever else, then I was bored and I was aggravated and annoyed and I did not enjoy my walk. I had come to rely on having something to listen to for my entertainment on my walks. And at first, I have to say, this didn't really bother me. I just tried to make sure that I always had my headphones when I was going for a walk, alone, specifically alone, and that my phone was always charged so that I could listen to something on my walk. But then 2.5 years ago, I guess something changed in me, and suddenly it did start bothering me. I decided that I didn't like needing something to listen to in order to enjoy my walk. I decided that I didn't have the independence that I wanted, and I didn't have the peace of mind that I wanted, that if I forgot my headphones or if my phone died, I could still enjoy my walk. And I also realized that wearing headphones all the time while on my walks left me being not as present as I wanted to be. I wanted more presence out of my walks. And what I mean by that is that I would go for a walk, for example, through the park, and then if afterwards, for example, someone asked me what I saw on my walk, I wouldn't have been able to give them very concrete answers, like some trees, I guess, some dogs, maybe. I was seeing things while I was walking, like I was watching where I was going, but I wasn't really seeing it. I wasn't taking it in, you know? Like the whole walk at the end of it was just kind of one big blur of park and trees in my head. And yeah, I decided that I wanted to be more connected to the world around me when I went on my walks, especially like through a park. Like I wanted to see the trees and I wanted to see the grass and the dew and the water. So I decided to make a change. I decided to make an active effort to go for walks and listen less and less to something while doing so. So I did bring my headphones and my phone was charged and I listened to something for parts of my walk, but I also made a concerted effort to spend some portions of the walk without my headphones in. And yeah, like I said, I have to say, like, especially at the beginning, it was a challenge. I felt bored. I felt bored because I had come to rely on podcasts and music for my walk entertainment. So at first, I felt kind of bored. But then at some point, something shifted. I will also say, in addition to just not listening to something, I did also begin really trying and concentrating to make an effort to actively look around me. And I focused on trying to be there in the moment and see what was there, really see it and take it in. And to my pleasant surprise, I started seeing things that I had completely missed before, that I had just walked by and seen, but not seen. I started to see, for example, the leaves, like really see them. I noticed their different shapes and shades of green. I noticed the different designs that the leaves' veins take. And this guy over here, I noticed that he has these little circles on his feet. I had walked by these birds so many times and I had just never noticed it before. And speaking of feet, I noticed how my feet make different sounds in different places. So where there are these like little stones, my walking is louder, and where the ground is then mostly dirt, it suddenly grows quieter, my footsteps. And I guess that might seem obvious, like when I think about it, it makes sense to me, but I hadn't really appreciated it until I gave myself the chance to listen for it. And there were other things too, like I started to notice the other people in the park more as well. And this one time I was walking past a building slash house slash structure thing in the park, and I noticed that someone working there was escorting several ducks out who had apparently wandered into the building. And the person saw that I saw them trying to get the ducks out, and they said something to me about it. They said something about how like the ducks are always trying to get in, and I said like, yeah, you know, I understand it's a problem because they didn't buy a ticket, and we both laughed. And after that, I continued on my walk, and I guess they continued escorting ducks out of the building. I had such a smile on my face after that, and I really enjoyed that connection about the ducks. And I went home and I told Stefan about it, and I'm guessing that if I had had my headphones in and if I had been listening to something, I don't think that we would have had that interaction. So I was really grateful that I wasn't listening to something that day. Or at least I wasn't listening to something for that part of the walk, which brings me to my next point. So, do I never listen to stuff while walking around anymore? No, I definitely do. I still like listening to podcasts and music. I just wanted to get to a place where sometimes I listen to stuff and sometimes I don't. And that I can go for walks and enjoy them also without listening to anything. And that's where I am now. And I was so excited because the other day I went out for a walk, and after, I don't know, maybe about 10 minutes into the walk-ish, I realized that I had completely forgotten my headphones. It hadn't even crossed my mind to bring them. And for a split second, you know, old habits die hard, I was like, oh no, I don't have my headphones. And then I remembered, oh wait, that's right, I don't need them anymore. And I continued on enjoying my walk. And I was so happy about that. So my question for you is, what has been your experience with this? And if you listen to podcasts, when are you most likely to listen to them? Is it, for example, maybe when you're cooking dinner, or when you're riding the bus, or when you're in the park? Please let me know in the comments below. Thanks so much for watching. Until next time, auf Wiedersehen. Headphones. Headphones? Yes, headphones. I'm gonna talk about headphones. Actually, not quite, but Anyway, hello everyone! Wait, that's not right. Hey everyone, Dana here. There we go. Gasp! Forgotten my headphones or double gasp. Double gasp? I even painted it onto one of my shirts. So yeah, the inspiration was from in the park, and then I painted a tree in winter without any leaves on it onto my shirt.